Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad.
What's up, y'all?
I'm a little bit tired today. I've probably been in the office for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, you got back late last night.
Yeah, late last night from our trip to Costa Rica.
I know, sunny Costa Rica.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I've never been to Costa Rica before. I've actually never been to we pulled into Panama Canal on a cruise, but cruises are different because you're if you don't leave the
isolated
port area, there's a lot built up around there, Yeah. We landed at the airport and the Airbnb we're staying at was like an hour and a half away. So we said to stay at the airport for an hour to wait on the next group that was behind us coming in. So that way, I guess they rented one big bus to take us all. So they load us up on this bus, right? And literally after they get done loading us up on this bus, everyone's there. The three Costa Rican guys that loaded us up, they stood on the bus and they're like, by the way, we're not with this company. We work for tips. And they just stood there. And everyone's just and it's one of the guys like, do you have Venmo? Because a lot of people don't carry cash on them at all anymore. I had cash because I said I was going to get cash before I came. So I pulled out my wallet and threw some money. Someone else grabbed some money out. And so they ended up getting probably a really good tip because everyone just started pulling out money.
You don't want to get shook down in Costa Rica,
But then we ended up on this hour and a half drive. Really cool though. It was, I felt like I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Tropical forests, literal kind of huts built up. It's
cool.
Howler monkeys jumping around in the trees.
Yep.
We get to the Airbnb and it's a very beautiful home. Has a pool in the middle, kind of homes or rooms around the outside edge. And then everyone's just wait till tonight. You can't wait for you to see these bugs. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, just wait. Dude, nighttime came. I have never seen grasshoppers so big in my entire life.
Rainforest bugs, bro.
When I tell you that, I know in your mind you're thinking of the biggest grasshopper you've ever seen, but it's bigger than that. The size of a small, not even a small lizard, the size of a lizard. They were literally
a toilet paper roll.
Bigger.
A paper towel roll.
Yeah. Like the roll of paper towel. If you took a paper towel roll and you cut it in half,
put some legs on
that's how, that's how it was. It was legitimately, they were probably 6 inches long.
Hey.
No, but they were 6 inches long. And then they literally probably stood up 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
They were big.
Hell yeah.
And they could fly.
Do some grasshopper steaks.
I know that they ate grasshoppers for sure. They were very meaty.
They were that big, bro. Yeah,
and it's just so many. You don't understand. When you turn the lights on, they were coming for the light.
This liquid juicy stuff inside. I can't eat bugs. I can eat weird stuff. I don't want to do bugs.
They look crunchy too, super crunchy. But no, massive. To the point where I was looking at the average size bird, and I was I don't think a bird could eat this.
Okay. Yeah, no, probably not.
I think they could fight like a bird.
They might eat a bird.
They've
got them big. I would not want to get bit by those.
Whenever you look at normally when you look at a grasshopper, you're looking through a magnifying glass to see its head and the detail. No, the heads on these things were the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
I
thought the ones in Texas, Oklahoma were big. They got pretty big, man. They were size of a, fat marker.
When this was flying, I thought it was like a bird.
Yeah.
Like a hummingbird-esque, flying, because you just see these
Bro,
wings.
Can you imagine if that's what they were talking about, in the Bible?
Like the locusts and stuff in that? Probably.
Stuff of that size.
I think they were.
Holy my God.
Yeah.
Because it's scary enough with the small, the blacking out the sun. Of course, that's scary.
Right.
But then that's oh my God.
And so loud, bro.
Yeah.
Because, you know how crickets sound.
Have you seen those really big butterflies?
Like the monarch ones or whatever?
I don't know what's really
the size of these grasshoppers.
Fucking big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, those things are fucking kind of scary coming.
Honestly,
because you're
see if you can pull,
see if
you can pull up what a Costa Rican grasshopper looks like, because I just really
see if we can get this Costa Rican grasshopper on the screen.
No, not that one. The one underneath though, that person's hand, down. There was one on someone's hand right there. That's what I'm trying to get. That's someone's hand.
That looks Photoshopped.
Yeah, but do you see how big it is?
Yeah.
No, go down underneath it. Keep going.
Yeah,
no. Click that again. Click again. It's Andy's first time at a computer. Go under. Do you see that one right there?
Jamie.
The top left. Yeah, that is in general what we're looking at.
It's like a cigar.
Yeah. And do you see how big it is on that pipe right there? It's
Fatty.
literally holding on to
dude,
a steel pipe.
That's a rail. Yeah,
I know. And you could see the spikes on the legs. I'm telling you, they were big.
Nah, flamethrower.
Aubrey's like, if I see one of these in our room, like I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I'm out. So it's funny. They had like a guest book there where people like write comments. They're like, such a lovely house, except for the giant grasshoppers or like the bugs scared us and things like that.
The grasshopper sign in there, like, hey, say that again.
Yeah. Catch me outside. Literally.
Yeah, I'll be holding the pipe.
So anyway.
Well, you were in the tropical forest. I was in a freezer.
Oh yeah.
Not in the oven. I was in the freezer.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should share a little bit about that because like obviously it happened after the last podcast. So long story short, we have barcodes that we put on the side of all the boxes. Those barcodes relate back to the cookies flavor, like a SKU situation. And somehow all the barcodes got messed up and no one noticed and it just kept going out. And we sent out like 120, actually we sent out more than that, probably like 200 pallets with the wrong barcodes on them. And you went to address about 120 of them this weekend.
Yeah. So product, I mean, growing pains, all that stuff. There's really no way we could have caught this per se. This specific thing will never happen again. But it's one of those things where somebody had the ability to overwrite an image and that went into print software. Because we're running so fast and because we've got this big buffer system where we can effectively make way more of one flavor here per day and then ship that to be held elsewhere until the customer pulls it. We didn't find out about it till it's like hitting the customer and they're like, beep, this don't work. Beep. Yeah. And so we handled it with the ones that are with distribution, that are with the customers, but at our draw site, we just had to go over there and repalletize and resticker. Took a bunch of video, got a bunch of video though. So, shenanigans, you guys will be able to check that out.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah. So that was your fun Saturday event. But yeah.
Hey, shout out to my wife though. She came over there. She was one of our best employees or best helpers for sure.
Well, I mean, while we're talking about cookies, you guys also nicely packed up on Thursday a box with dry ice of cookies for me.
Yep.
Get to the airport. Aubrey has her suitcase. I have my suitcase and I have the box of cookies. So 3 bags. You know, the lady was really weird. You know, it's 6 a.m. on Friday morning. Actually, it's 5 a.m. when we were actually checking in. She's like, is there dry ice in there? I was like, yes, there's dry ice. She's like, how much? I was like, there's 5 pounds. She like looks at the lady next to her and she's like, how much dry ice are they allowed to have? I said, it's 5.5 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever it was. That's like, I looked it up before we came. And she goes, I'm asking her. And I was like, oh okay. Oh. And the lady goes, it's 5 pounds. And I didn't say anything. And she goes, I have to verify it. So that's why I was asking her. And I was like,
no problem.
I was like, but are you going to look it up? Morning. Or it's like, she says it's okay. If I say it, it's not okay. So anyways, we get to Atlanta. Everything's fine. Make it to our flight to Costa Rica. When I land in Costa Rica, I open up my Delta app and it says, alert, one of your bags didn't make it. And I immediately looked at Aubrey and I said, this is the only time you're going to hear me say, I hope the cookies didn't make it. Right. Because I would much rather our bags made it.
Yeah, we can make way more cookies.
Yeah, and the cookies didn't
reproduce
make it.
Cookies, no problem.
And I was like, please let that be the case. And so we're watching the bags come out and both of our bags come out and the cookies didn't come out. So I was like, thank God the cookies didn't make it.
Customs was hungry.
Yeah. And so like, I'm not really sure why they didn't make it. I'm assuming it just got pulled for more thorough inspection. And we only had about an hour and a half layover in Atlanta. Like our layover in Atlanta was like so short that Aubrey and I decided to walk instead of using the tram just because we wanted to get more steps. But when we walked to our gate and we got there, like they were boarding the plane. So,
well, I believe that as far as I know, Costa Rican customs doesn't have any major issues with anybody smuggling anything into Costa Rica from America. So they were probably like, that one looks like a good one to check.
Right.
We need to check a few.
Right. So yeah, like I said, it got checked. And then, you know, honestly though, if it was in the US, I probably would have had a harder time getting them because the person literally, I got an email like immediately from like Costa Rica's Delta crew. And they were just like, hey, fill out this form. That's like, has your name, your passport information and where you're staying and we'll bring it to you. And I was like, I'm staying 2 hours away. And they said what I said. And I was like, oh, okay.
We will drive it to you.
So on Saturday, I got an alert that it had arrived. I filled out the form. It was later in the day that to the point where they were like closing down. So they said like, we'll get it to you Sunday morning. Yeah. And I was like, sure you will. Sunday, 11 o'clock, I get a phone call. The guy's like, hey, I'm at the front gate. They won't let me through the gate. Can you come to the gate to grab your stuff? Drive to the gate. He's standing there with his stuff.
It's a different experience when we were down in the DR Delta. I mean, leaving from Atlanta, those of you that have had the pleasure of dealing with airport employees in Atlanta, they're all a little frustrated. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but they're never nice. You get a random nice one and you're like, whoa, you must be retiring today or something. Otherwise,
or you just got here.
They're all a little aggravated. I try and be nice to them. But dude, when we got off the plane, they were like, sir, can I carry that bag for you? Like, what do you need me to do? Anything? It's just a different game. Like,
well, hey, we're in
jobs were scarce there. You know, they were happy to have them.
When we were in Costa Rica leaving, we go to the Delta line. There's a really long line, and one of the agents sees Aubrey's like pregnant, and he like came up and he's like, here, come with me. And he like escorted us to the front of the line, got us through. And then he was like, do you need a wheelchair, ma'am? Like, I'll get you a wheelchair. And she's like, no, I'm fine. And like, we saw that guy cause he was like a customs guy. We saw him like multiple times throughout and every time he was like, are you good? Like,
it's
it was just like, they were like so nice.
Job.
Yeah. It was just so nice. Like to see Aubrey was pregnant and like want to like offer assistance and things like that.
I mean, like, cause if you care about your job and what you're supposed to do, like the facilitation of travel and tourism and all that stuff. Yeah.
But Costa Rica in general, very beautiful. I think it reminded me a lot of, we've been watching that Below Deck show. It reminded me a lot of like, you know, they go to like St. Lucia and all this stuff. Cause it's just like, we did a catamaran, very tropical, Jurassic Parky, you know, where the beaches are like
cliff.
Well, yeah. And it's like forest runs up to the beach, you know, here in Panama. I guess that's what I don't like about Panama City. We're riding around some of the most beautiful beaches there, and it was just like jungle forest up to the beach. Here in Panama City, it would be a hotel sitting right there on the beach, like right there, prime location.
Overdevelopment, it's coming for those areas too, though.
Eventually,
you know? Yeah, sad.
But yeah, it was that we had a really fun time on the catamaran. We saw the most beautiful sunset that night out there, really gorgeous sunset. But yeah, overall, really good time with people that, you know, we don't normally get to interact with that are influencers in different spaces that have all worked with HydroJug. But yeah, leaving the country is very difficult. And Aubrey said hindsight, she doesn't know if she would do that trip again because she didn't realize like how much in the boonies we would have been. And she's like, if we would have had issues, she's like, I'm glad I didn't research it because we wouldn't have gone, because she said I would have, and obviously nothing went wrong, but she was like, we were out there. Yeah.
Well, that's why when you were like, oh no, we can't go to Japan. I'm like, have you seen the medical centers in Japan? Y'all are going to Costa Rica.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Aubrey realized. Okay. I think Aubrey was in her mind was thinking like we were going to go to like an area that was like a developed area in Costa Rica. Cause I mean, same
Which
thing.
There are plenty. It's an expat, like retirement haven.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you think about, you know, any area, even Mexico, there's like just really concentrated areas where tourism has taken over. And so like, there's a lot more of like the Americanized stuff, but like we were not in that area at all. Like, we would drive like 5 miles to get to like a market that was smaller than this room, and it had like prepackaged food in it. And that's it. You know, no real sustenance.
You were in a food desert.
Yeah, grasshoppers though. You can eat grasshoppers
all the grasshoppers you could eat.
So, but no, overall, a lot of fun. We had a chef that came to the house to cook for us a couple of nights. We went to a steakhouse one night. Yeah, just a really good time. Really beautiful scenery. Aubrey and I just took it as time to relax.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like lounge, you know? Yep. So yeah, overall.
Are y'all going to do any kind of baby moon before?
This was kind of it. Aubrey's like, this is it. Okay. If we do another baby moon, it would be like we'll go to 30A or something like that for like the day. Yeah. But no, back to the customs thing. So we ended up, the bites got here. We got the bites. I bring them to the house and it's around noon on Sunday and we're leaving on Monday, you know? And we were leaving about like 1 o'clock for a catamaran. So at noon I got them, I started putting them in the freezer and everyone's like, oh, I want to get into them. I'm like, no. Right. The bites need to refreeze. They're not frozen anymore. Obviously, like we know they're not going to go bad just by getting warm because our dough is shelf stable.
Special formula.
So nice to know that we can still ship it and get it done. So we get back from the catamaran and like dinner is going to be in about like 30, 45 minutes. And everyone's like, I want to get into the cookies. And I'm like, well, save the cookies for after dinner, but we'll get into the bites now. We break open the bites bag and I opened one bag of each flavor. So like all 5 flavors. And I mean, they were pretty much gone. People were like, this is the best snack dessert that I've ever had. Like, I love this.
Available on DoorDash.
Yeah.
Check them out.
it's funny because like I was like, what's your favorite flavor? And you know, there was like some people were like, oh, Pudge was my favorite. A lot of people love Pitch Intense.
You know, I go back and forth, but I really like Pudge in the bites.
Yeah.
It's like the right amount.
Yeah.
It's hard to bite into a whole Pudge, man.
That's what a lot of people said.
Like
is like they said it's like the perfect amount. It's almost like a like
it's
a peanut
like
butter cup.
Skippy balls, but sweeter and like a treat, and not just like because that's kind of like just dry peanut butter, which I kind of like, but most people I don't know.
Right. But. Yeah, that one people liked. People really liked Big Sexy a lot. You know, honestly, the truth is like all of them were somebody's favorite. Yep. You know, the people that really loved like Oreo type stuff, like love Black Beauty. People that love the chocolate love Massive Eruption. A lot of people love the Big Sexy bites. So
Black Beauty and Massive are a nice contrast of chocolate, different chocolates.
Yeah, because one of them definitely tastes more like eating an Oreo, and the other one almost tastes like eating like a fudgy brownie. Yeah. So, I was really happy because. You know, I mean, you know me, and the people that watching this probably know me well enough to know that like I love when people love our product, you know, and so like to hear some of the like reviews that people had, and they don't have to say the things they could say. They could have been like, "Oh yeah, they're all right," or you know, whatever. But they were like, no, like. I mean, to the point where we left on Monday and there was some open bags of bites. The other 5 bags that we opened later in the night that were not gone. And people put them in, they put them in their suitcase. And while we were at the airport, I'm watching them open the bites and pass them around again. So yeah, it was really fun. I'm glad that people got to try them. Glad that they made it there. It honestly was like a perfect dessert that night. So
sweet.
Yeah. So, but I guess that brings us into what Andy wants to do today. Andy wants to show us like the most viral videos on the internet. And I actually kind of looked through this list beforehand because there's a viral video that Mr. Beast does about going to Paris for a baguette, like sending someone to Paris. So we filmed this in Costa Rica and we still got to film the intro and we got to like fluff it up. And, you know, I could only wish that it would get 1.4 billion views, which I think is what the one that Mr. Beast's video got is like 1.4 billion views. But hey, even if it gets like 1 million views, I would be stoked for
So all we need each of you to do is tell 400,000 of your friends and we'll be there.
Yeah, right. All 2.5 of you.
All of our viewers.
Yeah. But yeah, so maybe we can start with that video if you had that one up.
Andy picked the oldest videos he could find.
Well, I think a lot of them is just, you know, it's just like the virality of these videos. But here's the Paris flying video. So here we go.
If I give you $100, would you go to Paris to give me a baguette? No. If I give you $300, would you fly to Paris and bring me back a baguette? Yeah, right now.
Actually?
Yeah.
Flight included?
Yes.
Say less. I got a free afternoon, evening, part of the next day.
I can't believe she's actually getting 12 baguettes right now.
This is a very Mr. Beast thing to do.
Wow, I cannot believe I'm here.
Got him a hotel room and all? Okay.
I'm ready. Mr. Beast.
Oh, my baguette! I honestly just needed one. Here, you can just have this, whatever that is.
Oh.
Yeah. So we filmed something like that. We'll see if ours turns out anywhere near as good as his does, but
Ours will be better.
Yeah. So flew to Costa Rica to get some coffee.
All right. Here we go. Viral videos.
This is the most viewed of all time.
It's not technically the most viewed.
Oh, really?
Oh, Brad,
Okay.
you gonna let these guys do you like this? I know you can clean faster than they can.
Yeah. Have you watched this?
Yeah, I've seen these guys. This is how my wife feels like her entire day is with our kids at the house.
Yeah. I wonder how he takes some of these took, you know?
Get it. Get it, boy. Bro, with that glass table.
I want to know how he did that on his feet to make himself like slide around like that. Do you think he greased up the floor?
Baby oil or something? Yeah, must have.
Because
you'd have to eat it for the gram.
Yeah, I don't know if I could fake slipping that much.
No, you can't. You'd have to grease it up, I think.
Yeah.
That glass table.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see the next one. Do you think you could do that though? Do you think you could like clean that fast?
I think my wife could. She's fast.
I feel like it took him longer to set up the video than to
Oh
like
yeah,
run the
100%,
video.
dude. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I like when they edit over them and be like, me as a homeschool mom or me.
Right?
as a
Yeah.
whatever.
To make it relatable content.
Yeah, that's
all right.
that's cool.
Here we got 1.45 billion or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, these guys, bro. We need to do this in the warehouse or something. That's all they do. Get it. What do they got now? This seems dangerous. Get it.
Oh gosh. I love that how the end is always something that like seems to drag on. Like
Yeah.
whenever he was doing the other
Yeah,
thing.
we're already disinvested, man.
Yeah.
Got him. Oh, yellow.
Oh, yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Let's go, yellow.
I feel like
Let's go.
If you watch this video and the other video, I wonder if there's a reason for it. The ending draws out so much more.
Watch time.
Just double your watch time.
Yeah.
To see he was going to actually
Watch
win.
hours and all. And
But I mean, when
money.
he was sliding around on the floor, though, it's like, what's the watch time there? I honestly think it was to frustrate people.
Yeah.
Everything else was.
That's what I'm saying. You're
so-
vested. We've already watched all this, and now we're just like, okay, miss that ball one more time.
Yeah.
I've already invested. I've already given you my 3 seconds.
At first, you're like going and you're like, oh, I can do that. Look how fast he's going. I could probably go that fast. And at the end, you're like, oh, I could definitely beat that.
Yeah,
Come on, quit
shoot it,
missing.
dude.
Yeah, you suck. All right. We've actually talked about this. Mr. Beast has this one, 1.3 million, give away iPhone and said candy on Halloween.
I need to audit. I need to know what's real.
Yeah. We have that fake money and we joked about like giving away $10,000 and just seeing what would happen. Well, I'm going to put that on my account, giving away $10,000 instead of candy on Halloween. And I'm just going to see how viral it goes. So you hear it here first. It's going to be fake money. Let's see how viral it goes.
Don't catch a charge.
Hey.
Just kidding.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yo, I love the costume. Here's an iPhone. Oh my gosh. You get 2 for having a Minecraft costume. Don't drop your iPhones. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, like,
Here's
are these just
$10,000.
his employees,
No, keep it.
family? Like, here's your paycheck.
Here's an iPhone.
Well, just like, I can't imagine your dad being like, yeah, keep it, $10,000. He'd be like, what the?
Take 'em. Here's an iPhone.
Yeah.
You want an iPhone?
Yes, please.
Okay, here's an iPhone. Oh, there's 2 of you. 1 second. There we go. Happy Halloween. Do you want a PlayStation?
Bro, good luck good luck people knowing where you live for Halloween forever.
You want an iPhone?
What? I want a candy.
I've got a jar of peanut butter.
I'm allergic.
Yeah, and the endings are always so weird,
It's for kids, man. So his content is like somehow so addictive to the like 6 to 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's that like
Weird
weirdness.
humor.
It's that weirdness at the end that I think makes their brain go like, what? And stay there.
Yeah.
Because they just zone out and watch this type of mess.
All right. This has got
Lucas and Marcus.
1.2 billion views. It's so wild that there's accounts like Lucas and Marcus that have 36 million subscribers. I've never heard of these people.
Never, ever.
Isn't that the weirdest part about social media? I mean,
Well, that's YouTube in itself is like, dude, you'll go to some of these. They'll have 36 million subscribers. They'll have like 30,000 on Instagram.
yeah.
And it's like, what?
But I mean, there's also ones that have 36 million on here, and then they'll also have like 3 million on
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm just still like, I've never heard of you.
Yeah, true
Never
that.
seen you on my Explore
But
page.
some of them just do like nothing but YouTube
Right. Yeah, I agree.
or
Yeah.
stream.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
you just see like clips of them.
The prank videos are just always interesting, to say the least. But here we go. First off, like, no one's sleeping.
Right. With a blanket.
Yeah, together like that in the middle of a pool. Period. Just like it's just not what happens.
For the views though, bro.
I literally want to start an account that just like parodies all this stuff for
You
views.
should. We'll go to Sweet Bay right now. You can pop a float.
Yeah. Well, my question is, are there accounts that are really big out there that don't get a lot of views that do stupid stuff like this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Also, how is this thing deflating so slow?
I don't know, dude. When I lay on one without holes in it, it fucking
Yeah, my
it's
air mattress
deflated.
deflates this slow without holes. Yeah.
You know, if that thing's big enough, that could be really dangerous if that thing wraps around them. Because, like, if they get out,
That was
fine.
so anticlimactic.
Yeah. 1.2 billion views.
For that.
Golly,
What?
man.
30 million likes. At 30 million
I know,
likes. Okay.
They probably made 6 figures on
How
that video.
Zach the King gets away with doing graffiti to 1.2 billion views.
Zach King's got cool videos, man. You think you see it, and then you're like, there it is. I saw the transition. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hey, you can't be doing that. Hey. Wait, what?
Oh, I didn't see that one. Good job, Zach.
Yeah, like that's a good video.
Yeah,
for
he
real.
makes good videos.
Yeah, 30 million likes on that.
Yep.
So it's just a travesty that other video got
I know.
32 million likes. So
The amount of effort. So Zach King, I watched a thing about it, man. Like they lose a lot of money on these videos.
Really?
Like a lot. But they get eyes on the brand. They get 1.2. I mean, maybe he doesn't lose money. Well, Dollar Bill, I don't know who even got the money off that video, but maybe not on 1.2 billion views, but what he said he does get is he gets tons of eyes on the brand. And so then when Ford or somebody comes to the table and wants him to do a video, he gets to charge what he gets to charge.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah, so it's all like for the long game.
a loss leader, I guess.
Yeah.
But
All right, 3
sorry, I'm
months
over
of
here
trick
Darth Vader
shots,
breathing.
3 years.
Maybe you can edit it out. I don't know.
3 years later, and we leased our first studio space to continue filming our trick shot videos. Wow, leasing your own studio for trick shot videos is wild to me because I couldn't imagine like you need your own space for trick shot videos.
Dude, perfect, man. They like
Oh,
set.
that's true. Yeah. Okay.
See, but this is like, again, 13-year-old boy or something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
I mean, dope.
these are pretty fun shots, but I want to know like really how long it takes. Like I would be more interested in like knowing like how many attempts.
So
it took.
I've seen accounts that post the videos that are like that say like how many attempts and how long. And some of them are pretty quick and you're like, wow. And then other ones you're like, you know, they're like, it took 7 point whatever hours.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you think about
then,
them,
I think all that stuff's fake. I think they just like put times up on the thing.
well,
like,
the thing is, the truth is, it's just like, actually, this would be a really fun social experiment. Starting an account and just faking everything and just seeing how many followers you could go just by like, I mean,
Faking it
I know
all.
it sounds unethical, but lying.
yeah. That's most of social media though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Before we get into this next one, I mean, the Liver King, literally, there's emails that that's how he actually got exposed. Is
I'm creating this persona that is
Yeah.
going to do X, Y, and Z, and so basically create this line of supplements and
right?
shove it down everyone's throats.
Yeah. No, I mean, I really think that we should just, kind of like Loki want to do this. Because also just from a standpoint of just like marketing your own business, like just making this account. That's
Well, I'm down,
big.
man. I mean, I think we've got, production cranked out. I think we've got a pipeline, at least, that if we get all these customers, we get this brand going where we don't have to worry as much of what's coming out of this facility. We're selling what's going out of Peach State. I think we can dive into the...
Well, I mean, I think that like if I do this experiment and I do handing out $10,000 on Halloween and it like goes gangbusters, then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to have to do this.
build the team. We'll get the system together.
Yeah,
We'll
it's sad that you like have to
turn
like
and burn, baby. Let's go.
It's just like that's social media is fake, and I think people just need to realize that. And maybe if I just come out just being like it's fake, and just like keep doing it, I wonder what will happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Every prank I've ever seen is obviously fake.
sure. Social media has entered. It has transitioned from that realm of yes, some people are really sharing their lives and other things, but it's also like a platform for entertainment and a platform for other things. And like nobody thinks Dave Chappelle is being Dave Chappelle when he's doing even stand up. You know, even when they're like, man, I was in the mall the other day. You don't really necessarily think the dude was in the mall the other day with these outlandish lifestyles.
I used to say that all the time. Like some of these stories that tell, like they always have the best
I know,
stories.
man, dang, your lives are so
if that stuff
entertaining.
happened to me, I could be a comedian too because jokes just write themselves.
Funny people have a way of taking what's going on around them and make it funny.
Yeah.
But then too, you also can just hear a
Over-embellish.
story, make it your own. You're there to tell jokes. You're there to entertain. And so that's where kind of social media has transcended. I mean, I see far worse in the online coaching of whatever form space of like, let me teach you how to make money online. And you're like, cool, teach me. And they're like, buy my course. And you buy the course. They're like, how do I make money online? They're like, I just showed you. You bought my course. You're like, yeah, but there's nothing really in it. I know, but if you get enough people to buy your course, you make money online. Then you teach them and you teach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jets, Lamborghinis. F that. You just want to go pop a raft somebody's fake sleeping on or whatever and get some YouTube money somehow.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I
want
agree.
to. I don't want to sleaze them out of money.
Yeah, dude. It seems so sleazy.
I'll just sleaze them out their attention and time.
Well, and I mean, I don't want to call it on here, but I've talked to you offline about the like stuff in real estate and stuff in raising capital, and they're like,
yeah.
just raise it anyways.
Right.
Dirt bags.
All right. This one has 800 million views and rating strangers' shots.
I like
Crazy
these
fail
guys.
competitions. So.
They put up the basketball goal. She said, nope. Curve. Nope. Dang, come on. Oh, got you in the foot. Oh, this is why this one got so much views. Normally somebody's shooting it. My guy, come on. Oh, he tried. What are we doing? Here we go. He tried. Come on. Uh-oh. Dang, Bill Gates curved him quick. She said no.
Man, people really don't want to shoot, huh?
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
The last one.
All right.
I do enjoy those videos because they're like no one.
Wholesome.
Yeah, it's like no one's getting pranked, no one's doing anything weird, you know. Same with like those interviewers on the street when they're asking like legitimate questions. Like I love those because it's like,
well, if you've got the ability to just be like, no, thank you, and there's no harassment, no issue, then cool. That's about as much, you know, confrontation as you should give anybody when you're in the streets. Like,
right.
Because like we plan on doing some of the kind of man in the street about the cookie stuff, but if somebody's like, don't, then it's just like, absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Too easy. That one, hey, here's the ball. If you move out of the way, they don't say anything. They just go get the ball.
Right.
You know, if they like started heckling you or something, it'd be
Right.
bad.
Shoot it right now.
Yeah, go.
Kid rugby player is a beast on the field. 5 million views. So now we're getting into like normal
Bro,
areas.
I can already tell you, man, sometimes in
But
these sports,
I can tell you just by looking at this kid running.
man-child.
Yeah. Like it would be like Adam playing with.
Bro, they have them in
High
sports
schoolers.
in that age range. They'll just be this randomly big
Yeah.
kid.
Obviously hit puberty well before everyone
Dang.
else. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, get out of my way. Boom.
I mean, he's legitimately twice the size of
Yeah.
every other kid.
We had a kid on my football team called Milk Truck. I don't really remember why. Other
Oh
than
my gosh.
Coach would say he would bring them flavors.
And in rugby, you can fall down. So the
Oh,
kid just
yeah,
falls
yeah.
down and gets back up again.
Oh, it's till you touch the ball to the ground. Boom, get out of my way. You don't want none of this?
I mean, he is so much. I mean,
God, dude. He's like trying out for the All Blacks right now, dude.
yeah, he is.
I am the team.
I mean, there's
Got
eight.
the whole other team on my... Yeah, get it to number 4, please.
Oh.
Or wait, no, what's his number? 7? I can't read it. Oh, pump fake. Pump fake.
He's actually pretty quick
17,
too for
yeah,
how
he's got
big he
feet,
is.
man. For sure.
Yeah, he's
All right.
fast.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Nice.
Oh, boy.
All right, what we got here? Earth's secret 8th continent.
Oh, this got me all over it. Let's go.
Earth has an 8th continent, and its location might surprise you. You see, in 1895, a geologist suggested that New Zealand had a secret that we all overlooked. He claimed that the country was actually the top of a mountain range. He said the rest of the mountains were under the ocean. In the 1990s, satellites confirmed this was true. The full continent is almost as big as Australia.
So essentially, New Zealand is on the top of a mountain range that's underwater, and they're claiming that would be the other continent.
Where all those billionaires have their bunkers.
Bunkers.
Yeah. What's inside the mountains?
That would, I wonder, could you, well, there'd probably just be water. I would say it'd be cool if you could like excavate into the mountain.
You can. Yeah. That's why they built the bunkers in Hawaii and other places, because they sit on granite.
Yeah.
So there's not water.
Okay.
Yeah, so the water, it's not like here.
Right.
You can,
Yeah,
there
blocks,
could be
yeah.
caves. There could be
Gotcha.
huge expansive networks under there.
Yeah, and so that'd probably be similar there too.
Drill down and see what's there.
Nice. Start selling billionaire bunkers there.
I love it. I love it. That one guy, that bunker thing, you know, of course, he's got a business, so he does the whole, you know, kind of sells the conspiracy. But, you know, I mean, he's done at least 100 in New Zealand.
Right.
Just him.
Yeah. All right.
Don't listen to music tonight. Random facts. The last fact is genuinely shocking. In the past, people used bread as an eraser. An average person spends 60% of a conversation talking to themselves. Films used to be hand-painted to have color. You can't hum and breathe at the same time. Every night you have 6 dreams, and at most you can remember 2. The average person swears 80 to 90 times per day.
Yeah, I'm not average.
Snakes can predict earthquakes. There's a 50% chance that 2 people will share a birthday in a group of 23 people. We spend a year on the toilet in our lifetime. Flowers grow faster with music. Color-blind people have better night vision. Your mind wanders 30% of the time. Blue is the most common favorite color worldwide. The name Adidas's comes from Adolf Dassler. The human attention span is now shorter than a goldfish's. Multiple studies show that you should like and
so no lie,
way too many.
Whenever I listen to these, I think about half are made up.
Yeah. Well, I don't let people tell me things like this, so I have to know that it's a fact for my brain to hear it.
In a group of 23 people,
there's
a 50% chance
and
that
you look
you
up the
share
statistic,
a
the birthday paradox or whatever. There is a weird mathematical. I don't know that it's. I don't know that's 50% and 23, but the birthday paradox, also known as the birthday problem, is a counterintuitive probability problem that states that there's a 50% chance that 2 people in a group of 23 people have the same birthday. This is because the number of possible pairings of people in a group grows with the square of the number of people, and there are 253 unique pairs of people in a group of 23.
Yeah. Insane.
This is where math begins
but,
to
I mean, obviously that one isn't
me.
the one that I thought was like the crazy. There was like another one but yeah, I mean, I think that some of them are fake just to be like,
yeah, wait,
no, that's not real,
wait,
you know?
what?
And then some of them are actually real. And they're always just like videos doing just the most obscure thing. Like,
oh yeah,
that you'd watch, like burning.
Yeah, that was a whole like make money trend. Was like the AI voiceover with the car driving down the thing or the guy burning the.
Well, I've seen that the guy still makes this one dude still apparently makes like $20,000 a month on TikTok just doing having AI write a scary story, voicing it over in 11 Labs, and then doing voice to text on a Minecraft gameplay.
Yeah, or that'll be over like a Impulsive podcast or like whatever. Pick it. I don't know.
See, that's what I was saying. Like, what if you did the full gambit of that? You did fake pranks, you did fake skits, you did those kind of things on one account. Like, could you just blow that account up?
And then you do the green screen of yourself, like TikTok, doing this with Candace Owens going half of the screen, and then somebody else responding, and just put it all together.
Yeah,
Make it all fake.
Yeah, you point up and you're like, yeah. So stupid. That was about.
Don't even make your own content, bro.
I always love that. There's people that's content is literally, just them showing you someone else's content. They don't add on to it. They don't add any benefit to it other than saying, look at what I found.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to share it to my story because I want to get views for it. I'm just going to green screen it and just say,
yep. No original account links, no nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Well, hey, we got this one. This one's pretty cool. Quick backstory. So I actually use a note taker, an AI note taker when I go to Zoom meetings, whatever. And I was running late for one, and it was with an insurance guy. He was giving me the pitch, yada, yada, 401ks, all that stuff. And I saw that my Meet Geek attendant was in there, and I saw he was in there, and then I saw the meeting had started. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, so this guy proceeded to give the whole presentation to my Meet Geek note taker, which doesn't have this at all. Gave his whole presentation. Now, of course, it summarized it for me. I can go back and watch videos of the different things, and I got his whole pitch, and he did his 45-minute deal, and it took 0 minutes of my time. And I was like, oh my gosh. I accidentally did it, but it was great. And so now I haven't really had a need where I've wanted to be in every meeting I've needed to be in, but on any of these meetings, I'll be like, yeah, if you can give it with my... Well, HeyGen, right? They've got the next game, they've got the game all figured out. They have got an avatar you can make that either looks like you or looks like somebody else. Here, play this.
Today, we're going to create an avatar that looks and moves like me. We begin by smiling into the camera. I love to smile. Smiling's my favorite. I'm breathing gently for a short second. Is this what breathing looks like? I'm Joanna Stern, and I'm excited to host this video.
No, I am the real Joanna.
Okay, so I clone myself. Kinda. Howdy. Why? Well, the latest AI tools that generate text and images already make it hard to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake.
Yeah, it's a long thing.
Yeah,
so essentially you can create an AI clone of yourself that will go to these meetings and just like nod and say stuff, or
it'll talk for you, right? So supposedly the predictive learning goes into it to where you can prompt what you want its objective to be for the meeting. So like my objective for you, you are coming to this as the CEO.
To find
my
out
objective is
this and pricing or whatever. Yeah.
And then, they don't have to make agreements on your behalf. They can just collect. I don't know. I mean, I
doubt they can make agreements on your behalf.
I imagine though, how long? I mean, these things learn so fast. It's already skimming your emails. If you run like Chrome extensions with ChatGPT or Gemini or anything, it's reading how you react to things. It's reading how you respond to things. It's in meetings with me, like summarizing how I talk and all my answers and everything. How long? I mean, what, months? Because it ain't gonna be years.
Oh, I don't even think months.
Weeks.
I was thinking the other day, if something could follow you around through enough scenarios, because really they need to see you happy, sad, mad, through enough scenarios, it would probably only take a couple of weeks to, I would say, get an 85% generalized just how you would react to situations and things like that. I think the hard part is you're obviously always trying to be a better person, right? So like for me, I'm always like trying to control how I react and like do better at things. So, depending on when it grabbed its snapshot.
You're like, oh, no, I'm better. I've leveled up since then.
Can you lower the emotional response to things? But no, I've always thought this. It's just, I think the internet was hard for people to wrap their minds around how it would change things because there was just so much that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like selling things on the internet and like all that stuff. AI is going to change it because again, there's so much that we don't even know.
Well, in business, there's so much time suck.
Yeah.
That if I could be like, you need 15 minutes of my time? No problem. My AI has a calendar for you.
Yeah.
If you don't need me to make the decision on the call, if you just want to keep me abreast of the situation,
right.
If you just want to vent, if you just want to
right.
Whatever it is, yeah, man. And the ability for it to be able to go to it and like give its case, and you get to give it the autonomy of going like, no, that's logical. And it get a hold of the other team personnel and go like, you're supposed to be helping this person.
Yeah.
Don't make me go get the real Adam
right
over here.
Yeah.
Like that would save so much time and just like, Like of just, you know, what you got to deal with all day.
Yeah.
We're like, I got shit to do too.
Well, I know it's going to sound bad, but so like we have our sync meetings twice a week where it's it's scheduled for an hour. Everyone gets on. We have kind of a running list. Everyone kind of gives updates on the list. But the truth is, like, now that I'm thinking about that, it's like I almost would rather everyone just like give me updates to their list in some kind of video format
could be
summarized list. And then it's sent to someone that's not me to review and compile and then give me a very quick update, because the truth is our sync sessions last on average about 30 minutes and I need them to be 5.
Yep.
And this is just how Adam and I operate. So some people may take this the absolute wrong way, and I'm sorry if you do, but Adam and I have a really hard time with the fluff. And we do like you. We do care how your day is. But right now in this meeting, I just want you to answer these questions. Yeah. And so for me, a lot of times when we get into these sync calls, I feel like I have to like turn on a side of me that's not my most comfortable side of like trying to feel invested into the situation when really I just want an update and to move on.
Yeah, it's a product of scale. And so that's right. It does feel abrasive. It feels like, oh, they're being so short or something. But it's, you know, if something takes 30 minutes and you want to do 10 times the kind of business where 30-minute meetings were what you got, now you have 300 minutes worth of meetings. Like, we got to shorten that down to 5 so it scales back up to 50 and it's still manageable in a work week.
Right.
You know, it's just like...
I think it's just like, and the truth is like, I do care about your weekend and I do care about your family and how things are going. And I will hopefully have time to stop you and ask you those questions like during lunch or at the end of the day. But the truth is, like, when I'm here, like, I'm here to work, and it's just not where I'm at, you know, with the other stuff.
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, that's hard for me. And so I think that this kind of stuff, AI takes out that stuff that I don't like to do, not because I don't care about it, is because it's not efficient.
Right.
So
I feel like AI will also take out some of the emotion from both sides of the picture, like where folks make you offer, you know, and then like give you a proposal and then yank it back off the table. We recently had.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too, AI is definitely going to help with people. Like, it's going to hurt sales, because if you have to pitch to an AI and then they have to go back and brief, like, you've lost your opportunity.
Well, that's where I see though, that's where I see things like HeyGen really transforming a sales landscape of like, you need somebody to show up and give a pitch. I can train you on an answer to any question.
Yeah, you're right.
Anything. Here's the product. Here's the whatever. We can clone it. Oh, I'm so good. Eat it with me.
Right.
You can, have an infinite number of bytes in your video, whatever it is. Oh, it's just game over, dude.
Well, yeah, I see it from that standpoint. It's obviously really nice of saving a salesperson's time on, especially like cold leads and just like overview of products and stuff. Yeah. I definitely see sometimes there, but like also if you're trying to sell to us and you're now getting our AIs on the phone to debrief us to, we can let you know if we're interested or not. That's one more, that's one more hurdle that you're going to have to overcome from the sales side. So
I see the big boys though, they just have metrics. If you check all the boxes, I think it'll be like AI, you're like Hershey or like pick, let's say Publix. Probably not 10 years from now. Maybe faster. Who knows? Everything's going so fast. If you check all the boxes, it'll probably be a person, maybe us or our AI, dealing with their AI buyer. Because why would you need? What would a person bring other than gut feel?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I said that we live in a world of data for decisions. And that now we're living to the point where like I literally wear my watch all the time and have like bad sleep and stuff. The truth is, when AI is watching me all the time, I make guesses like, oh, I didn't sleep well because I ate too much food late at night. Or this is why I think AI eventually is going to be able to just look at it and be like, hey, you don't want to do that because you're not going to sleep good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've moved away from the era of like the Mad Men of having a clever idea where people are like, ooh, yeah, I never thought of that. Now it's going to be like, no, people buy this product for this reason. Do this thing.
Right.
If this, then that.
Yeah.
And like, okay. Marketing, sales, all that stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Landscape.
Well, it's just like, at the end of the day, a lot of people that have been really great at certain things is because they've been able to digest a lot of information and make a decision quickly. But you're not going to be able to out digest information and make decisions more quickly than AI when it gets to that scale. It's just going to be about like, does the information you have better than the information the AI has, or vice versa?
And who controls the computing power? Because we're about to be at a point where we are at the point where software is outrunning hardware. And so how expensive is the next wave of hardware?
Well, it's going to be nuclear.
Yeah.
They literally, like Meta, all those people are investing so much into nuclear
Reactors.
energy. And, I actually, because I have a background in nuclear power, do you know that like a pea-sized shape of like, I think it's plutonium, but a pea-sized shape would operate your vehicle for like 30 years?
I did not know that.
So the point is just that the waste from nuclear energy and the potential for nuclear energy is just so much greater.
Oh, other than, of course, conspiracy, whatever, big oil. I don't know why we don't pursue that further. I mean, yes, bad things, catastrophic things could happen, but they shouldn't. We've made leaps and bounds. I mean, technology has changed so far and they don't happen with the subs. They don't happen. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because, like, they talk a lot about all these like casualties and stuff that you have, or incidents, Fukushima. They bring up 3 Mile Island, all that stuff. But like in the submarine force, I mean, we've been operating nuclear reactors with like no issue for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think for a lot of people, they don't understand how nuclear power works, so they're scared of it. But like, long story short, you are using a hot rock, which is like the plutonium or uranium or whatever that radioactive thing is. You're creating heat, and then you're using that heat to boil water, and then the power is literally coming from that heat transfer of hot radioactivity creating boiling water using steam to then drive like a turbine for power. So I think when people think about nuclear energy, they just like don't understand what's actually happening.
Sure.
And it's like the same thing that's happening with like oil and gas. They're burning it for energy.
Oh yeah.
Where same thing as nuclear power. It's just like you're not burning it. You're causing a reaction, and that reaction is producing heat, just like a kind of a fire is. And then you're just boiling water and then using water to do a turbine. So I think a lot of people just get really scared about that. And
but as far as computing and hardware goes, I mean, it's really likely going to be devices that tether to the internet, and the computing and the power is going to be done offsite somewhere.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying is the power consumption of all these devices is starting to like get, because I mean, think about it. When I used to build a computer back in the day, a 500 watt power supply was a big boy power supply. Nowadays, you're not getting a power supply in a computer under probably like 700 watts. And then most graphics cards that you're pulling nowadays need 1,000 watt power supplies. Right. So you look at just like the power consumption. I mean, shoot, even think about building houses back in the day. You probably need a 100 amp breaker to your whole house and to power everything. And now it's like, 200. Our house has 400 amp hookup. You got your car you're powering now, and your golf cart, and your TVs, and your computers, and everything's plugging in and charging it. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to say the least. But I think nuclear power is going to be a big thing.
Speaking of electricity, we got Elon Musk up here. What do we got?
Well, so it's from the Joe Rogan podcast, which, by the way, did you know that, obviously Trump went on Joe Rogan's podcast on Friday. Do you know that he's invited Kamala Harris to come onto his podcast? And
she ain't going to go on there.
They said if he would travel to her and limit it to 1 hour, and there was some other stipulations.
She gets to wear earpiece.
She would come on. And he's like, listen, just like Donald Trump,
I'm Joe Rogan. You come to me.
Essentially, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, I think it would be ideal to be in my studio with my rules so that everyone has a fair shot. He said, I don't want to ask hard questions. I just want to get to know you as a person and understand you as a person.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I think it's kind of too late, in my opinion. The election, people are already voting.
Yep.
I don't know. Have you early voted?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Going tomorrow.
I already voted. I submitted my ballot last week. Yeah, people are already voting. I think so. It's kind of late for people, but maybe the early voters are the people that already made up their mind anyway.
When this comes out, it'll be the last day to vote.
Oh, really?
Right. Next Monday.
Is that when it comes out? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Andy, we going to be out by next Monday?
When is the Joe Rogan Trump podcast come out?
This is already out.
Oh, it's already out?
I'm saying ours, this podcast.
Oh, this podcast? Oh, yeah.
Vote.
Yeah, it'll come out Monday. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's
Get out and vote.
Yep.
What was it like when you actually got in? Because nobody really can prepare you for that. When you're running for president, you don't really know what it's going to be like when you actually get into office.
Well, first of all, it was very surreal. It's very interesting. When I got shot, it wasn't surreal. That should have been surreal. When I was laying on the ground, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew exactly where I was hit. It was a very surreal experience, okay?
Like, what's day one like? You win, you get inaugurated, holy shit, I'm the president.
Yeah, that's what happened. So I'm driving down Pennsylvania Avenue. You've never seen so many motorcycles, police, military. You know, it was a major thing. I got off really the first time I used Air Force One. Landed. It was very beautiful. I mean, it was incredible.
Oh,
man, I will just say this. If y'all haven't seen that podcast, go check it out. The highlight reel, Megyn Kelly has a good one too. I
didn't see that. Did you watch the podcast?
Yeah. Regardless of how you feel about him politically or whatever, dude, he is sharp and he has got all his faculties about him. He is telling stories. He is just with it. Him and Joe Rogan talk about UFC for a long time. They're both super interested, but he's naming fighters and wins and this and that. And they talk about the presidency. Nothing really that hard hitting. Nothing really.
It's more of a sit down bro talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's to get to know you as a person.
Yeah.
I think the one thing the Trump campaign has really fumbled at, which I saw this on House and Habit this morning, is that they really cater to the bros a lot. And RFK Jr., this is something that people talked about him. And the truth is, like, a lot of the votes that they need to be going after right now is like the women vote that's kind of haven't decided. So I feel like on his last, at the Madison Square Garden, he really missed an opportunity to like go after those kind of votes, you know, cause he had like Kill Tony up there telling jokes. And
I feel like there are a lingering boomer aged, Kennedy Democrat that is not a Democrat today. That is just still very like, oh, he's mean, or I don't like thinking about those types of things.
Right.
I mean, I've talked to people. I've got some in my family that are just like, oh, I don't like to think about that.
Yeah.
So like they're going to vote based on like a weird emotional feel that has no law backing, has no nothing. And it's really sad. And it's because like, oh, well, we should just help the people. And you're like, yes, I know, but we're not helping the people. These programs aren't helping the people. They're hurting the Americans. Well, I just don't like to think about that, Adam. We should just help the people. And it's like, okay.
Something I do want to talk about is, you know, the whole Democratic and Republican Party is kind of like going sideways for both of them, right? I don't want to get into it, but obviously I've heard a lot of people that are very big into the Democratic Party that they super hate on anyone in the Republican Party. They'll talk about racism and all that stuff. But like we're seeing a lot of like what I would consider like very entrenched Republican candidates endorse the Democratic Party. And then we're seeing a bunch of Democratic candidates endorse the Republican Party. Like, I don't know if you like the entire Bush family is like endorsing Kamala, which they're like, in my opinion, like almost like the Republican, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like Tulsi Gabbard
and a lot of the swamp that Trump talks about, rear its head. I mean, just really, I was pro Bush. I served under Bush. I have since learned what happened, why we went to war, the contracts that were made, what Cheney did, all that.
People, just say it because people don't realize like how much money is involved.
War in general. I mean, trillions of dollars, more money than anything else. Right there next to pharmaceuticals, right there next to curing disease and illness.
I mean, arguably, World War II is what got us out of the Great Depression.
Yeah, I mean, just the sheer amount of printing of dollars that are given to government contractors to do who knows what abroad to the tune of trillions of dollars every year is just insane. I mean, we do it every year. We have our nose in everybody's business. We fund wars. We fund shadow wars. And so coming from a position of like, hey, why don't we just focus on America? They're over there. If they come over here, they'll get the smoke. But if they stay over there, they can kind of do what they need to over there. I mean, like, as far as I know, genocides aren't occurring anywhere at scale. There's nowhere we really need to stick our nose in.
Do you feel like we just like don't know enough about why our nose is stuck in that? Or do you feel like there's literally just like it's corruption and
all
money?
Those political dynasties that we have in the United States with their huge interests in all the government contractors. Yeah. I mean, if you had to publicly disclose and were unable to hold a position in office, if your family held more than $1 million, screw it, $100 million in government contract related assets, dude, I think half of our government would disqualify.
Yeah.
If somewhere, somehow you didn't benefit, if your brother-in-law's cousin wasn't the czar of whatever.
Right.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's everywhere. It's blatant. So-and-so's husband will be like the real estate agent that gets to sell all of these for the whole country or whatever. I don't know. It's just shady. And I've
always said this world is so much more about who you know than anything else. Dude.
Well, so you've got these, it's that. You've got Republican dynasties who are going, what in the world is Kamala campaigning for that fits within anything they've ever ran for? Nothing. You're not allowed. All the statements you've made. I mean, that's just goes to show you politicians don't have ethics. All the statements you've said up until that date prevent you from saying, and also I support her.
Right.
You can say maybe I don't like Trump, or you can maybe say like that, but
right.
You know?
Right. To endorse someone that's literally running on like the opposite of everything you've done is just weird endorsement.
Times are weird, man. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Joe Biden even has been throwing shade at Kamala. Like, she went to do some rally and like he went live on TV first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And was like saying how they were like peas in a pod.
But did you see them?
She's like trying to say they're not really, like it's a new leaf. And he's like, no, we're the same.
Yeah. Did you see the chant where everyone was chanting her name? And it was like really loud in the stadium. And she goes, all right, now I want y'all to chant your own names. And like the stadium just like went really quiet. She's like, go ahead, chant your names. And like, no one's doing it. She goes, because you're the ones voting for me or something like that. And it was just like the most awkward moment because it's like, could you imagine just
everyone
like
chanting a different
like
name?
Adam or Brad, like, you know, it was just funny.
It would sound like just conversations going
yeah,
off.
It was a really, really funny video. So, well, yeah, that's it for this one. I know this is a more, a different take. We wanted to try some like reaction style videos. So we started with the viral ones. I think we're going to probably bring up some more videos that are just more like business, family related stuff. Cause that's kind of, more in our wheelhouse, but we just wanted to kind of see how a reaction style video went. If you guys like it, so comment down below. All 5 of you.
Yeah, let us know.
And let us know. But yeah, and then we got to start our social media account to prove that
faking everything.
Yeah, man, we need to name it like something that had to do with like fake or Matrix or, like escaping the Matrix or something like that. And then just doing that kind of stuff. But hope you enjoyed this podcast. And don't forget to get out there and vote. You're worth it. Do hard shit.